Hi, everybody. All right, so happy Wednesday. It's September now. Today we are continuing to work on the wiring, as we always seem to be doing. This video I'll be doing some CanBus work, as well as some grounding stuff. You can see I'm actually making some grounds there. It's hard to see, but the grounding block is behind that sort of center support. Come to find out, I've run out of grounds. There's a lot of active low switches. There's a lot of stuff that not only needs power, but you also need to, have ground for some switching. And I ran out. So I got another grounding block coming. It's just going to mount right next to the other one. I think all in all I'm going to have I'm going to estimate about 40 different grounds. So what we're working on now is actually, now that the grounds are done, we're going to be working on getting the CAN bus installed, right? So all the Garmin boxes have, some interconnections all over the place. You got your WASP radio, and that connects to a whole bunch of different boxes because that's the actual GPS signal flying around. You've also got backup GPS from your display, should you have a GPS antenna connected to it. That gives GPS to your ADHARS unit and all this other stuff. Well, that's all well and good, but the one thing that ties them all together is the CAN bus. And that's basically a web, and you can see it's actually sitting there. It's hard to discern if you don't know what you're looking for, but basically it connects every single box, right? And there's, I think, 15, or at least in my system, there's 15 different Garmin boxes, right? How much of a mess is that? So that has to go out all over the place. So the way that it's going to work, and remember, it's a solid line where you have terminals on each end. In my case, one terminal is going to be in the tail, and the other one's going to be in the right wing. And here you can see a little slowed down version of putting on some pins. And there you can see my handy Daniels faux crimpers. They work really well. So yeah, it's a big network that goes across all the boxes. So the way that I've structured this is, I've got two wires coming up the fuselage, one from the right wing, one from the tail. Those go behind the panel. And what I'm doing is I'm connecting those to each side of the panel. So each display will link to one of those wires, right? And then then from there they'll go to the other boxes on each side, and then they'll wind up connecting in the middle. So the way I've done this is I've actually started by doing it in the middle, right? I got 5 boxes in the middle that need a CAN bus connection. Actually, sorry, 4. The G3X 375 does not connect to CAN bus directly. So I've got 4 up the middle, and then the top box, which is the autopilot controller, it goes over to the left side, and the bottom, which is the G5, goes over to the right side. Then you connect to those boxes there, and then, like I said, it goes to the displays, and then the displays go out towards the tail where you got the 2 autopilot servos, and then out the other one goes to the wing where you've got an autopilot servo and your magnetometer. Ta-da! And there it is. So that's the essence of the CAN bus, right? Ironically, I didn't really finish all the CAN bus stuff until 2 days ago. So I basically got all of this done, and then I just said, screw it, I'll just pick it up later. That's the danger of having such a complicated project, right? It's easy just enough to say, yeah, screw it, I'll just pick it up later. And then you forget that, oh, you know what, I needed to connect that CAN bus to 8 different boxes. So, always good to keep a checklist of the stuff that you've just abandoned. Alright, so the wife is here, and she's going to be getting in. So, what we're working on that you can't see because I didn't move the camera is all of the positive leads for all of the fuselage and sub-panel boxes that are currently there. They need power. They need to go to the circuit board. Yeah, doesn't she look good in there? And she's going to help me by labeling these power leads that go to the circuit breaker panel. I've said it before, I'll say it again. You need to have a support system. You need someone to help you along. Now, it's nice to have A&Ps. It's nice to have pilots. It's nice to have mechanics. But what you really need is the love and support of those closest to you, because you've really, and we had a long talk about this, right? It took years to come around to getting the idea of a plane in, coming to terms with the amount of time it was going to take, the amount of money, and that's a lot of love right there. One of the reasons I name everything after her. The plane is named after her. The tail number is half hers. When I used to make beer, I named all my beers after her. In fact, she's so awesome, she's even named after herself. Alright, so we're just going to keep on working on this. In the next video, Heather and I are going to keep working on labeling all these power wires. And then when we're done with that, we make a gigantic mistake, which I will tell you all about on Saturday. Don't worry, everything's fine. It's just that, you know, sometimes good intentions have a way of, well, there's no other way of saying it, f***ing you in the ass. And we will see how that happens to me on Saturday. So thank you for joining me, everyone. See you soon.